I don't know how to have hair on both sides of my head.
Well, you look really well. First of all, welcome back, everybody.
Still forgot your clap.
Oh, okay.
Does
Welcome
that
back.
help?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Still haven't figured out a name for the show yet.
I didn't know we were thinking about a name for the show.
Well, you said it a few times ago or recently, I can't remember when, that we should think about whether or not we're going to rename the channel or not.
Oh, yeah. What are you? I mean, I think that Frosty Photo, since we're not exactly doing photos,
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
it's like little misleading.
True.
I mean, I think you just keep it straight and simple and like use names or something that's very straightforward. I don't want to get fancy. I think when people try to get creative and punny, I think it's just confusing and stupid.
For example.
I can't think of an example right now, but there are plenty.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I've never been very big at using puns or witty banter. But anyway, a recent conversation that we've been discussing is mold coffee. And I want to know more.
I don't think that's really true. I just said I think we should start drinking mold-free coffee because...
Well, I mean, I tangentially have heard you having conversations talking about how all coffee has mold on it. But
no, that's not true.
Is it? Okay.
I said if a coffee is not labeled as mold-free, then it has mold in it. And that's just like a known fact now.
I didn't know that fact.
Well, I don't think it's controversial. I think it's like if it says mold-free, then they've gone through the process of making it not moldy. But if it doesn't have that label, then you can safely assume that there has been mold in the process of making the coffee. And we have never had mold-free coffee, mostly just because it's expensive.
Where do you get it at?
You can buy it anywhere. I mean, there's just different brands that process their coffee in a way that mold does not grow when they're doing the process of creating the coffee grounds or beans, whichever you choose. But it's just easier because the coffee is like wet, and so mold just grows, and it's just like any big thing that's manufactured. Like there's gonna be there, unless you're specifically paying attention to those details, it's gonna happen. But if we start drinking mold, this was my point. I think we should start drinking mold-free coffee for like 6 months and see how that affects our cognitive abilities. Because I can say that my brain and sharpness has drastically declined, I would say, alongside my drinking coffee. Because I didn't start drinking coffee until I was in college. And then I didn't start drinking coffee consistently until I was out of college working my first job. And I think I've had a slow decline of cognition since then, to the point where for me it's become very apparent. Like I just do not think as sharply as I used to. And I don't think it's necessarily related to having a baby and baby brain. I think that has made it worse, but this was a thing for me far before that, to the point where like I thought I would be in business meetings and stuff thinking like my brain is just like not up to speed on this. And so I wonder if we take the coffee and change that factor, because obviously there's many things that could be contributing to this, but I do think that would probably be one.
You think it would have an impact?
Yeah.
Well, it'd be interesting to isolate it and see if it is a contributing factor. I didn't really start drinking coffee until I met you, actually. That's kind of when I started drinking coffee. Before that, it was just mostly energy drinks. But
you never drank any in the wing?
Not really. No, it was just like too much. And like, who wants to drink coffee out of a coffee pot cleaned by junior Marines. Who knows how well they actually did it.
Well, you
So-
better do it well, or you'll get your booty slapped.
That's one way to
Isaiah's
put
a
it.
former Marine
Yeah. I spent a
in the
little bit of time.
United States Marine Corps.
Yes, not a marine biologist or anything like that.
Easily confused.
Very, very easily confused. Yeah, no, I just never drink a lot of coffee. I knew a lot of guys that did, but no, it wasn't a big thing for me.
Okay, well, we can start our mold-free coffee journey as soon as I order it. The thing is that it's just obviously more expensive, which is whatever, that makes sense. But I also am lazy when it comes, I'm not a coffee snob, really, because I use a Shark Ninja like coffee maker. You can't be a coffee snob if you're just like throwing a Keurig pod into a Ninja machine to make. So I'm not a coffee snob, but I am a coffee sloth, I guess you could call it. Sloth.
Like you're just now starting to get
No, like
into...
the Vice. Sloth. Okay, so I'm lazy when it comes to making my coffee. I just want to put the coffee pot in there and pull the thing down and then have it make me 8 ounces of coffee. And then the likelihood of me finishing it is basically 0.
Offer it up. Throw ice on it.
Yeah.
I thought I was funny. Do you want to tell that story?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
No, secret.
All right. Well, that kind of threw me off.
You can't just give away gold, Isaiah.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I'll just bleep that out then. But yeah, no, I just haven't been a big coffee drinker until I got to you. And then we had a kid. Then I became a big coffee drinker.
I think that's false. I think that you were drinking massive amounts of coffee before we had a baby.
Yeah, but I said that I met you. Then we had a baby.
Then I became a big coffee drinker is what you said.
I guess yeah. I don't know. Maybe I've been a big coffee drinker for a couple of years now. But
Okay, so what do you think about coffee and energy drinks?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of energy drinks as much as I used to be. Sometimes they're good. I can always go for a Red
How
Bull
many
here and there.
energy drinks do you drink a day?
1 to 2, maybe 3 on a busy day. But
And you're getting these from where?
I get these provided by my boss. Yeah, he's chosen to show up more frequently with 24 packs or bigger of Red Bulls.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So then what do you buy out of the vending machine?
usually an energy drink.
This is not adding up.
Well, yeah. I mean,
We're going to call this the Call Out Isaiah podcast.
no, there's other days too where he doesn't come with energy drinks and we're out.
So you go through a 24 pack in one day and then the next day you have to buy it from the vending machine?
It's not just me that is drinking them.
You and one other person?
Brady drinks them too.
So 2 people. So you have 12 energy drinks in one day?
Sometimes. Well, I mean,
That's not healthy.
Some of the sales reps drink them too, but also, it lasts like 2 or 3 days. The 24 pack does. I don't think we drink 12 in a day.
I would hope not.
No. I mean, some days there's more than others. It just depends on the day. I don't know. Sometimes you have to, what's the word? Consort? No. Revert? No. That's not it either.
I don't know what word you're looking for.
Sometimes you have to, no, I don't know what the word is. Defer. Sometimes you have to defer to the vending machine.
Interesting.
How often do you use vending machines? Never.
The last time I used a vending machine is when we lived in Hawaii. And there was a vending machine
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The first time, 2022. This is the last time that I used a vending machine. Right after we got married, there was one like 3 blocks from our house. We lived on a military base. It's like outside of a
Library.
Was that the library?
Yeah, because you had to go down.
Yeah, it was
You walk
outside.
out the door down to the right.
And this was like a really old school vending machine that I just noticed one day. And so I would walk down to this vending machine, not really for the vending itself, but because it was like I could get out of the house, take a little break, be in the sun from work because I was working from home, and I'd walk down with my quarters, and half the time it would like cost me more than $1.25 or whatever it was for the monster that I would get, because like the machine wouldn't take all my coins. Like it would like eat one, but then it didn't register that it took it. So sometimes it would cost me more, and sometimes it would cost me less because like it thought my one coin was like 3 coins. And sometimes I legitimately could not get one out at all. But it was just like a thing to go do. I was like, I need a air break. I need to walk, and I needed a destination because you don't like to walk places without a destination.
I wasn't going for these walks with you to the vending machine.
I know. I'm just saying.
I rubbed off on
I'm
you.
giving you the ability to relate.
Thank you.
And it was very questionable. Like, how old were these monsters? How long had they been in the vending machine? Probably a very long time. And it was also outside, but it was like it was in the shade. But yeah, it was sketchy. So I'm pretty confident that was the last time that I used vending machine.
That's pretty good. 3 years is a long time.
More than 3 years now.
Well, I mean, I didn't really use vending machine. No, I can't even say that. There's a vending machine at the barracks. I would use that one pretty frequently. And then I definitely stopped using vending machines once we got married. Yeah, because we were living in the house. I didn't really need to go anywhere for anything. And then there wasn't one. Huh?
Except work.
Yeah, but I didn't use a vending machine at work when I was in the wing.
You say that like I would never use a vending machine at work.
Well, there wasn't one at work. There wasn't. And you have the Geedunk, so you can just go to the Geedunk and get some snacks. It's like a break room, but they sell everything.
Why do they call it a Geedunk?
Because that's the sound that the coin makes when it goes in. Geedunk.
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, what do we call this place?
The Geedunk. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they actually came up with that name. I don't know if it's an acronym for something else, but I'm pretty sure it's because of that sound that a coin makes when it goes in the vending machine.
I feel like now you need to verify that, because if that's not the reason, you are sounding like a total idiot.
No, no, my boys can back me up on this. It's
That's
called
fine.
the Geedunk. Help me out, guys. If
Well,
you've been in the air wing in the United States Marine Corps, drop a comment below. What's it called? The break room.
We're
the Geedunk.
we're not questioning what it's called. We're questioning why it's called that.
Okay, well, I clearly don't know why it's called that. So help me out, everybody.
So that's what I'm saying. If it is anything other than your explanation, then you realize
We'll get it
that's
verified.
gonna feel pretty silly.
No, it'll get verified. It's because of that sound that a coin makes.
That's fine. I think that is a interesting name.
Yeah, I know. We had an awesome Geedunk at 303 though. In California, it was awesome. They made breakfast, like we had fresh breakfast. They do Taco Tuesdays and make tacos for lunch and stuff. Pretty evenly priced too. And it was great because then all the money that we made from the Geedunk, that the unit would use that to then fund the ball every year. So we had like
taxes.
Kind of, yeah. So then we had like free rooms at this casino for the ball, and it was like free bar or open bar. Yeah, it's a good time.
Oops.
Do wish you could have come to that.
Maybe in another life.
Another life. I don't know why I like to repeat things that you say. You're also a better conversationalist than I am. I was thinking about this just before we started. Like, I used to analyze conversations and really think hard about how to drive conversation, but you do a much better job at that just naturally. I don't know why that is. Did you take speaking class in high school?
I don't. I'm sure I took a speech class in high. Yeah, I definitely took a speech class in high school. And in college, I took several speech classes. I took just a straight up speech class in college, and then I took another class that was called visual presentation, and which I learned. I don't know if it was at the beginning or the end of this class that I didn't need to take that class because I had already taken the speech class, but it was like I had gotten conflicting information from my advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never would have enrolled in this class if I knew I didn't need to.
Oh, you thought you needed to take it?
Yeah, like there was, and it's kind of confusing with that kind of stuff because your course requirements can change depending on like when you enroll in the major or like what's the thing called? I don't know. When you enroll, so your advisor could potentially give you wrong information. Like if I enrolled in year 1 versus like someone who enrolled like 2 years after me,
Mm-hmm.
our requirements to get the same major could vary just slightly, but they'll change like what's required and what's not. So your advisor could potentially give you mistaken information, which I'm pretty sure is what happened. So it was like, you need to take this class. And then I discovered later that like, no, I actually didn't need to take that class because my speech class already checked the box for that.
Mm.
But anyway, this visual presentation class was very interesting because it was basically like a speech class, but using more visuals. Like you didn't just give a speech. And so we had to do all sorts of like PowerPoint presentations, like rendering with computer graphic things, and just I can't remember what else we did, but it was a lot of like you had to do a presentation with visuals. But it was interesting, and I do feel like I learned a lot, but I don't specifically. We also did a lot of like photography stuff in that class too, because that's obviously visual.
Was this before or after you switched your major?
That's a good question. I don't know. It must have been before. Because, yeah, it was before. Because I was living in the dorms, which was my sophomore year.
So this was the hospitality major.
Hospitality, restaurant, tourism management major with an emphasis in event planning.
I've wildly understated the scope of that.
Scope.
Yeah, scope.
Yep.
Why'd you switch? And what'd you switch to? I genuinely can't remember.
I switched to business administration and management because I realized that I didn't really want to plan the party. I just wanted to go to the party, and that hospitality was working lots of nights and weekends. And also, I was getting A's in all of my classes, and I didn't feel like I was learning anything.
Oh.
And so I switched to business so that I could actually, because I was like, I'm in college, I might as well learn something instead of just like doing nothing in these stupid classes. So I switched to business, and it was the one major that would align with the classes I already had, and I didn't have to spend a bunch of extra time in college.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What was your favorite class in college?
Ooh, that would have been economics. I loved economics. It's just very interesting to me, getting to learn how money works and how the economy functions.
What did it change about your life?
How
you live your life?
It made me pay attention to politics a whole lot more than I did previously.
That's interesting, because I think you always paid attention to politics.
Yeah, but it really ramped that up even more. Just because like there's so many things like laws or regulations or different rules that are going to affect the economy in drastic ways, and then it has like a trickle down effect.
Pay attention to what though, because I think that there's a lot of politics that you can get all your panties all in a tizzy about, and then you can't do anything about.
Well, it made me pay attention to the Fed more, and just how the Fed is, pushing out monetary policy, and like with different changes that they're going to make. Like just recently they lowered the interest rate by a quarter point. And so that's having a trickle down effect on the bond market. And the bond market is, from my rough understanding, I'm still learning about all of this, but it's also affecting like mortgage rates. And so like a lot of people that may have bought like a house, in like 2020, 2021, and they have like a 7.5% interest rate, like now is a really good time for them to refinance. And so banks are having to change how they're doing things so that they don't lose clients' mortgages. And so I don't feel like I'm in a place right now where I want to take advantage of that change to the market, but there's still like an expected change to the interest rate coming up over the next couple of months. It could lower as much as another 2 quarter points or more. So like that's something that economics made me pay more attention to, is how the Fed's putting out monetary policy and just the things that it's going to affect. Well, and then also like you have like Trump's tariff situation is affecting the economy in a wide variety of ways, whether it's like transportation costs or like the cost of basic groceries is either going up or going down based on where we get that stuff from, like what countries it comes from. So it's just, that's a portion of politics where I'm paying more attention because it affects the economy in a broader sense.
But what do you do differently because of all of this information?
Well, beforehand, like I didn't pay attention to it at all. So I wasn't looking at like where I'm buying things at or what I'm buying and is it a good time to buy X or not. So it just makes me be a little bit more conscientious of how I'm looking at what to buy across the scope of the year or like next year. I'm still developing it. I'm not saying I'm perfect and I know exactly I should buy this. Like buy diapers now because the price on diapers is as low as it's going to be this year. I'm still learning like how to apply it properly, but economics helped me pay more attention to that kind of stuff.
But that, I feel like that kind of thing, like you're going to buy diapers when you are close to running out of diapers for your baby.
Yeah, maybe
you're not going to like...
That was a bad example.
Wait till the market trends down to buy... Maybe you would stock up if you notice the market has trended down and diapers are all of a sudden $10 cheaper. But
right.
But then again, you don't know how long your baby's going to be in that size of diapers. So you just, in my opinion, are just buying diapers. It's like gas. There's a lot happening in the economy, in the world, with gas prices and oil prices. And there's a lot more about that I don't know about. But at the end of the day, like if my car is low on gas and I need to go somewhere tomorrow, I'm just going to buy gas.
Right. But are you going to buy gas from a gas station that's closer and more convenient to you? Or are you going to go somewhere where it's a little bit cheaper?
I'm going to go to Costco because, one, historically, they have lower prices. But two, and more importantly, it's a gas station where I feel safe getting gas with a baby.
That's fair. Is it just me or does it feel like gas stations have gotten more sketchy over the past couple of years?
No, I think as a female, I think gas stations have always been sketchy, which I think is maybe part of the draw to Costco. I think that's mostly... the price, that it's lower.
Mm-hmm.
But as someone who is a female and a mom who has a baby with me when I'm getting gas most of the time, I like that there's an attendant there, mm-hmm. and I like that it's busy, so there's lots of people there. So like if anything sketchy were to go down, there's a bunch of other customers there, and there's not a convenience store, because that's where most of the sketchiness ensues. But no, I think gas stations have always been sketchy. I've had sketchy gas station encounters. And again, like when it's just me, that's not a big deal. But like when I have a tiny human with me, then it's like a whole different experience that you're paying attention to. Like you can't just go in and out as easily or whatever. You're just paying attention to a lot more factors.
I'm so curious now about these sketchy gas station stories. Like I'm interested partially because you tell great stories, but partially because like I don't know what it's like to be a woman dealing with sketchy situations at a gas station, so I don't know how I would necessarily like recognize what something sketchy is like for you.
Well, for me, like when I go in, well, I kind of identify gas stations in general, like whatever town I'm living in, what gas stations are sketchy, what gas stations are not.
Mm-hmm.
And then I obviously always try to go during daylight hours, but still, I mean, sketchy things can happen at any time. But like you want to, as I'm pulling in, I always look inside the convenience store to see like, you know, is a robbery going down? Is something sketchy happening?
Have you been around a gas station with a robbery going on?
No, but like everyone's been to a gas station where there's like a couple of cops there, and you're like, okay, one would be normal, but like, why are there two? You know, and gas stations get robbed all the time. There's probably a gas station being robbed right now. So I check on that. And I mean, thankfully I've lived in generally safe areas. So no, but like that's a very reasonable thing to be like looking for. Because even if I'm not going to go in, like if there's something sketchy going on inside, I don't want to be outside pumping gas.
Yeah.
And then just like paying attention to which gas pumps are open, but then who the people are that are like on the other side of it pumping, like if it feels like a sketchy person, because like once you put the gas pump in your car, then you're somewhat committed to being there. And so and then you have your keys and your car, your car's either unlocked or your keys are right there, and you have money out. Like there's lots of factors happening. But I don't know, just weird stuff like people wanting to chat with you at the gas station, and you're like, oh, I'm just here to pump my gas. Like, what are we like trying to figure out? Are they your timers?
We're going to take a quick break.
Okay, where were we? The
sketchy people that are trying to talk to you at the gas station.
Yeah, I haven't, it's not like every time I go to the gas station it's something sketchy, but I am always on guard. There's one time that really sticks out in my mind. I was probably 17, I think, and it was Halloween. I don't know I think it was actually Halloween. It was Halloween night, so I was dressed up. I want to say I was like an 80s girl. Like it wasn't really a thing. And I was with a bunch of high schoolers. Like I think if I'm remembering this right, I was a junior and I was hanging out with a bunch of seniors, and we were like caravanning from one place to another, but I needed to get gas. And so my older brother, who was in the grade above me, was also a part of this. I think this was Halloween. I don't know. And so I needed to get gas. And so we were driving our separate cars, and we go to the gas station, and he just parked, like he didn't need gas. So he just parked like by the convenience store. But then I was pumping gas, and there was so like we were not clearly together, but he was still there, like keeping an eye out on me because it was nighttime, and like I'm 17-year-old girl in a costume getting gas. And there was some guy who like approached me, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was sketchy. And my brother Tim was there, and I don't even remember specifically like what he did, my brother Tim if he like, as this guy's approaching me, like also approached me to make it evident that I was not alone. And then the situation like obviously diffused. But I do remember driving away from that thinking like, I'm so glad that Tim was also there, because if I had just been alone, that could have been a very different situation.
Huh.
So maybe that's where my gas station.
Just that one instance changed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Was there ever a concern when you guys were kids that like you guys might get kidnapped or something like that? Well, the only reason I'm asking is because I feel like, I can't remember the details, but I feel like in the 90s or early 2000s, there was some big like human trafficking thing going on right through Nebraska. I feel like there was a big case about this or something. So I just don't know if that was like a thing when you guys were kids or not.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Nebraska, and that is an issue there, which it seems like it would not be an issue because like it's in the middle of the country. But the reason that it is an issue is because of the interstate I-80 that runs through the whole country. And so it's one of those things where like if you can pick people up and then just hop on the interstate and go wherever you want to go. When I was a kid, yeah, I had a heightened awareness of being kidnapped, more so than probably what was normal. So when I was little, I remember I wanted to sleep with my window open, like my screen, just the screen but the glass up, and my parents would not let me do that because it was not safe. And I thought that because we lived in a ranch, so my room was at ground level. And I thought that was so stupid because this is my reasoning. I said, if someone comes into my room, then you will know because they'll have to break through the screen. So I was like, obviously, Mom and Dad, you'll know if someone came in here because the screen would be broken, not realizing that like
you might not still be in there when they find out the screen's broken.
Yeah, but I was very little. And then when I was, I don't know, like 8 or 9 or something is when Elizabeth Smart got taken.
I don't know anything about that.
I know this is very fuzzy from my childhood. And I think now she's like maybe she's like back and is a well-known.
Oh, so like.
I don't remember the details, but she was, I think, taken like from her bedroom as a kid. Then she was like the same age, I think, that I was at the time that this happened. Yeah, so she was like kidnapped from her bedroom. And then, or Elizabeth Smart, is that what it is? Yeah. And then I think brainwashed or something. And I could be confusing two stories. There might be like another story that I'm mixing up. But some little girl or little girls were like kidnapped from their house and then brainwashed to like believe that like, no, I'm who you should be with. So when other people, and I think I do not remember the details of this. Like, I don't know if she was taken for like days or years or whatever. I don't know. But that was one thing.
Wow.
That stuck out in my head. Yeah, I have all these like, because there was another thing when I was in grade school. There was like a red van or a red truck or something that was known to be kidnapping people. And so I remember at school, they like alerted us to this, like, do not get in a red truck, do not get in. And so in, I don't know, probably like 5th grade or something, me and one of my friends would go to her house and we would practice like running to the end of the driveway with a bat. And we'd like run, one of us would run to the end of the driveway with a bat, and we'd like swing the bat a few times and then run back in case like someone tried to kidnap us. We were like going to fight them off with a bat.
Nice. That's a solid plan. Did you get, so what's the scenario? Like one of you is getting kidnapped and the other one's trying to save the other one, or? I
don't know. I think it was just like if someone tries to take you, then you have self-defense experience.
Nice.
Hopefully you have a bat with you. Yeah, there were just a lot of like, I don't know, things like that I didn't want to be kidnapped. I still don't want to be kidnapped.
I'm glad. Yeah, that sounds terrible. No, I didn't realize that there was so much of that stuff going on when you were a kid.
You act like when we were kids was like different decades.
Well, you always tell me that it was, very different time. I'm a little bit younger than Dana, but no,
you never feared getting kidnapped when
I
you were a
never
child?
did. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a boy too, so there's that. But I also wanted to sleep with my window open, which I did frequently, but I grew up on the second floor.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Yeah. But I wasn't supposed to sleep with the window open, but I would. I would pop the window
What
open.
a rebel.
Yeah, I don't know, it was just nice cool air coming in.
Depends on the season.
Yeah, that's true. Season and the climate, but no, I mean, the worst thing that I remember. Yeah, I don't really remember like kidnapping stuff. I don't know if anybody that I grew up around got kidnapped or anything. Well, I mean, you apparently do.
No, I don't like firsthand know anyone that was
Oh,
legitimate.
I thought you like firsthand knew these people that you mentioned.
No, this was like a national story.
Oh.
I don't have no idea where it even happened.
No, yeah, I had nothing like that I remember.
I feel like, I don't. No, I feel like I need to look it up because people are going to be like fact checking me. She was probably on, I feel like she was like on Joe Rogan.
Really? Like, I thought that was Amanda Knox.
Oh, maybe that.
Amanda Knox definitely went on Joe Rogan.
Let's see the cliff notes. Oh, Elizabeth Smart. That's what
you said.
She was a 14-year-old girl from Salt Lake City. In June 2002, she was kidnapped from her bedroom at knife point by
Ooh.
Brian David Mitchell, who believed he was a religious prophet. His wife Wanda helped him.
Jeez.
So Elizabeth was held for 9 months in the mountains near Salt Lake. She endured physical and psychological abuse and was forced to live under strict control. In March of 2003, so this was June 2002 to March of 2003, she was spotted in public with her captors. By witnesses who recognized her from media coverage and called the police, she was rescued and reunited with her family. This Mitchell character was sentenced to life in prison, and his wife served time before being released in 2018. Today, she is an activist, author, and speaker who advocates for child safety, victims' rights, and the prevention of sexual violence.
Well, I'm glad that story ended happily.
I know, but 9 months?
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
I mean, I can't even imagine.
No, especially at 14. That would suck.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have anything like that. I didn't even remember those stories. But, I mean, in 2000, you said that was 2002 to 2003?
Yeah, 2002. So I was like 10. She was 14.
So it made me like 5. No.
Oh, my God.
6, maybe. 7.
7
and
a half almost.
Yeah. Something like that. Right around those ages.
The half is important when you're that age. When I was 15, I remember I said I was at a friend's house and she was like on the phone with a boy or something. And for some reason we were talking about ages and I said I was 15 and a half, like kind of as a joke. And I just remember like getting so much grief over that. And I was like, look, that's important because if I'm 15 and a half, that means I'm pretty much 16, not practically 14.
You've always been mature for your age.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I don't remember if that was important to me or not.
Obviously it wasn't.
No, not really.
Safety's not big for you.
No, safety is huge for me. I didn't say that. I meant the half part of the age.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
that's
no.
important. That's really important.
No, I do remember that. I remember the H1N1 thing.
Swine flu?
Yeah, swine flu. My mom didn't want us to go outside for a while, for a couple
Why?
of days, because it could be in the air. So, but whatever. I mean, I don't think I ever even knew anybody that got H1N1.
There was one girl at my high school because I remember we had an entire school assembly, and they were like, H1N1 is the swine flu, and Michelle has it.
Boy, that would suck being that one kid.
I don't remember what happened.
And do we even know if it was actually Michelle?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if...
I only keep important things in my memory, and obviously that H1N1 was not.
Yeah. I only remember it because we lived in the same house for so long.
What does that mean?
No, so like we lived in like the same house for most of my childhood.
I think you lived in like 6 different houses.
Yeah, I did. I started in Lincoln, and then we moved somewhere. Might have been to Colorado, and then there was Greeley. Lived there for a little bit, and then moved to South Carolina. Lived on Glasscock.
You don't have to give all your addresses away. That's like a really unsafe thing to do.
I'm not giving all my addresses away. I'm just saying towns.
Glasscock is a town.
No, that's a road.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
On your credit history to prove your identity, they're going to ask you what streets you lived on.
Ruby Lane. No idea. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so like 6 houses growing up, roughly. How many did you live in?
We moved when I was 2, and I lived in the same house till I was 18.
Oh. Is that normal? I don't know.
It was normal for me, yeah.
Well, I mean, if normal's relative, depending on your circumstances, I guess.
I mean, we had the same neighbors. We had one neighbors who lived there, I think, when we moved in. And then, which is probably why the people moved out from where we lived. And then the neighbors on the other side, they moved in when I was like 8 or 9, because I remember they moved in. But I want to say like their grandparents or something lived there, and then they gave the house to the kids. So like the house wasn't sold. It was just like moved within the family. But I remember that because the neighbor boy had the exact same birthday as me, year and everything. Yeah. So we like became besties. And then they lived there, until we moved. And I don't know, because I obviously don't keep up, but every once in a while, like when we're back in town, we'll go driving by the old house. And I think both of those neighbors still live in those houses. Obviously the kids hopefully have like moved out by now, but I think the parents still own those houses. But I actually have no idea, because I haven't been back there in
Want to check in a couple of years.
a while.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I had like the same neighbors growing up. Well, I mean, I guess not very much now that I say that, since I moved 6 times. So I've had a plethora of neighbors, but I don't know. Neighbors are fun.
Okay, but living in the same house reminded you of H1N1.
Yeah.
What?
No, okay, because like I can see it like in my brain. So when I was a kid, there was a construction project that was going on across the street, and I wanted to sell lemonade. So I sold lemonade, popcorn, and cookies every day to these construction workers.
Every day?
Like every day for like 3 months straight. And I would do this, just to make extra money, because I was just taking money right off the construction workers, because I'm a cute little boy right across the street selling all this stuff. And I wanted to make sure that they had sustenance. They got to be taken care of. They're doing a hard project. Anyway, so I would do this all the time, but then like it was like semi soon after that, like after that construction project stopped, that like H1N1 became a thing. And I was like upset because I couldn't go outside as much anymore.
But if they were gone, then you don't have anyone to sell to.
Yeah, but yeah, I had to shut my business down. Like we ran out of revenue, dried up, couldn't move with the projects. But no, so like we lived in the same house, and soon after that is when H1N1 became a thing. I don't know. It's just, living in the same house made me think of that.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's weird how brains work. I mean, you remember a lot more about your childhood than I think I do about mine. You tell detailed stories.
I remember specific things about specific memories, but I don't remember everything, but the things that I do remember, I feel like I remember them well, but I also know that your memory is like just total garbage,
Mm-hmm.
so I could be just fabricating all of my memories. But it is weird what I remember. Like, it doesn't make sense, some of the memories that I have. It's like, why is that ingrained in my memory? There's no reason for it to be. And then other things I don't remember well at all.
Like what? What do you not remember? Well, I guess that's a stupid question.
I'm glad that you got that.
Yeah, if you don't remember it well, then how are you going to remember it in the first place?
Well, like when people say, what was your first memory? I think that's stupid because I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a like Rolodex of what order my memories went in, especially when you're little. It's like, I don't know if I was 3 or 5 or 6 or 7. And so I don't know. The people who are like, this is my first memory. Like, I just think that's bullshit. I think that your mom or your grandma or someone else kind of creates that for you. I don't think people genuinely go like just wake up one day and when they're 3 and remember their first memory.
Yeah, I don't know what my first memory would be either. I think that is kind of like BS because you'll like there's so many things that you could remember at that time frame. Like, how are you going to figure out which one was first?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's time to wrap that up. Thanks for joining us again.
Wrap it up and put a bow on it.
Wrap it up and put a bow on it. Use some Scotch scissors. Snip, snip. We'll see you next time.
Oh no.